I think I finally figured it out. The reason why you are still procrastinating on the idea of starting your YouTube channel or building up an online business is because you think you have to have everything laid out perfectly and you cannot make any mistakes. This truthfully is a secret. Listen, I made over $700,000 online. I'm not even 20 yet. And the number one thing that got me here was making fucking mistakes. In fact, to this day, even though I have over 6 years of YouTube experience, I've been making content consistently and growing consistently for the past 3 years. I have an Instagram channel with over 100k subs. I have millions of subscribers on YouTube across multiple channels. I'm still wrong 50% of the time. My hypotheses, my theories, my even data analysis, when I'm extracting data from what I see on my pages, and I try to make calculated next decisions, they're still wrong 50% of my time. Half of my content still does not go viral. I told my team, hey, I want you to actually make this video shorter and do this part differently, and it still flops. Because guess what? There is something called external factors that you still have not understood how it properly works within business. You can have the theories calculated as a perceived increase in success, but when you execute it, there's a tangible difference between real-life execution and hypothetical theories. And because of external factors, whether you posted your videos at the wrong time, or that your freelancer actually messed up something which you didn't see, and you didn't do enough quality control, things can be massively different to how you judged it theoretically. And that isn't outside of something that you can control. So as a byproduct, you're going to naturally make mistakes, be wrong and incorrect, and have setbacks in any line of business, no matter how right you may think you are or how much research you have done. This is the part of it. It's the mistakes and what you do with the mistakes afterwards that actually help you succeed. I'll tell you this right now. When I find a video that I spent $250 on and then I see it flop, the last thing I do is to sit there and say, oh shit, this isn't meant for me, I'll quit. I'll look at the data, reiterate, fix some things here and there, and the idea of looking back at your, test, reiterating, making changes, and not getting emotionally attached towards a failure is the number one skill that's going to help you win. So mistakes and being wrong is actually a byproduct. It's the process of getting to exactly where you want to be within any line of business. Faceless YouTube channels, Amazon FBA, I don't care what you're trying to get into. But this is the absolute facet of life. There's this saying, God doesn't test you. Sorry, how does it go? In school, you are learned things and then given the test. But in life, God tests you first and then you learn things afterwards. And because the propaganda has taught you for the last 20 to 25 years in the education system and corporate system that you have to learn things and perfect things first and then take the test to pass, you fed into this completely, bent idea of what it takes to become successful. Business is actually the complete opposite as what the corporate system teaches you. And I don't blame you for not taking action all this time, delaying things, thinking that you're not ready yet. And that's just because that's what the fucking system has taught you. Oh, you have to learn everything first, read the textbooks, memorize the data, match up the data that you've learned with the questions on the exam, get a 90% so you can get an A, and then we proceed from there. And if you don't get an A, you're a failure. No. Here's how it actually works. You go into the exam not knowing a fucking clue. Imagine you haven't read any textbooks. Imagine you haven't done any sort of research or any sort of studying. You take the test, you get an 80% incorrect. Perfect. Now we look back on the incorrect questions are 80% fucking fails. You look at why. Use AI and you can cheat and you can use friends to learn from your failures and mistakes. Use whatever you fucking can to actually take the exams and look at the questions you got wrong. Fix them. Take the test again. Next time, boom, 30% wrong. You cheat, you use more AI, you use more friends, you keep on doing this reiteration until you get 100% correct. That's the game of life that people have not taught you. It's not your fault, right? But it kind of is at the same time. Because whatever you're choosing, Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. If you're deliberately, actively choosing to not take any action, that is an action. It's the action of inaction. So you have to understand that everything kind of is your fault at the end of the day, and you cannot think of failures and mistakes and not knowing everything out, not knowing the entire roadmap first. You have to think of that as normal. I promise you it's normal. The one thing that I'll tell you is that comfort is actually your biggest enemy. It's not laziness. It's not your job. It's not the fact that you're fear of failing. It's that you're comfortable for 2 hours during the day. You may want to actually build a business for 8 hours during the rest of the day. And then by the time you're heading to bed, you've scrolled enough to TikTok, your dopamine's receptors are happy, and you lose your desire and wantingness to change. I felt that before. It's the absolute number one enemy that every human faces. Oh, I'm happy. It's hilarious. But going back to my original statement, I promise you, right now, right here, if you get good at this one skill of getting excited to make mistakes, going into tests, go into exams, full on Rambo, get it done, learn from the actions, and then proceed from there. It will do you far more justice than waiting for the perfect opportunity, getting into things once you finally feel ready, because this is the one caveat again. There's no such thing as feeling ready in anything in life. You will never ever feel ready to even make $1 million. You'll never feel ready to hire freelancers, pay people who you don't know across the world in Ethiopia, so that way they can make videos for your YouTube channel. Ready is a conscious decision that you make. It's not a feeling. I've learned this when I'm fighting. I'm a kickboxer. I've been kickboxing for about 5 months only, and I've realized that for me to become the best athlete I can be, I cannot wait for the timing to be ready. I have to make the conscious decision by snapping my fingers and allowing myself to go through the process of a sparring camp or a training session or an amateur fight or anything to get the thing done, because it's a conscious decision that I have chosen deliberately to take. I might not even feel like I'm competent enough to go and get into the ring. Vice versa in business, I might not feel competent enough to even have the technology and have the wisdom to build a successful business. But I have to first say, let's fucking go. Get into there. Make the mistakes as well. And that is the number one secret to success. It doesn't even have to be overnight. Success doesn't have to mean that you have to be the perfect human. It just means you have to make the conscious decision to not even feel ready, sorry. You have to make the conscious decision to say, yes, I am ready despite uncertainty. Get in there with no prior knowledge. You fail, but I'm a little better. You fail, but I'm a little bit better again. Fail, win, fail, win, and then it's upward spiral. That is the game of success. In business, in life, in relationships, in your body, in spirituality and relationships with God, in anything. I hope you took away something from this video. I'm going to see you guys soon.
Alright, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMM Shiba and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm gonna click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.